Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. In the last episode, we visited the world of Ramanas Park, learning the mysterious legendary phenomenon that's taken over the remnants of what used to be Pal Park. With the knowledge we gained from our discoveries, we decided it was time we wake up a sleeping giant that lives inside a Snow Point Temple, the beast known as Regigigas. But with our final mini-adventure now set for us, we begin what truly is the beginning of the end of our journey in the lands of Sinnoh. So, with that being said, our final journey before we start doing our rematches is now here. And honestly, let's be honest here, there's definitely going to be quite a adventure when it comes to what we're going to be doing here. Because, let's be honest here, it's not going to be the easiest thing. So Spring Path, also known as, if you're wondering on the map, this little area over here. So basically, a little bit underneath Veilstone City, and then in between the lakefront for Verity, or Valor, the place I called Verity earlier in our adventure. But honestly, this is apparently where we need to go in order to make our way to my next goal of our adventure. Send off Spring. And just in case, since we're definitely probably going to need this, let's definitely just throw on a quick little max repel. Also, if you guys noticed, I literally just got the spray duck, which is kind of sad. I don't know why I didn't grab it earlier, but I completely forgot to grab the watering can for a good chunk of the adventure, so I couldn't even replant those berries that we picked up throughout our entire adventure, which is a little sad, but definitely an interesting place, though, for sure, just because of everything. And also, in between, I ended up going and finding out where we can get that marking map that we were supposed to get for Mesprit. I ended up getting Mesprit, by the way. But the thing is now we have the marking map. So if you guys were wondering about that, this is what it is. So you'll see a Pokemon on it, and then once you leave or enter an area, the Pokemon will move around the map. We might be seeing that later, but I thought we should probably grab that just because it might be useful for later, just in case, because you never know. But I thought I should mention it since it is something we now have, because we didn't have it before. And this place looks like a place we're definitely going to need to use Defog. But Turnback Cave, here we are. Definitely a mysterious place, though, for sure. But defog everything with good old Staraptor, just like a Pokemon Ranger of old. And there we go. Now we have a full view of what's actually going on here. Looks like we got some unknown writing here. Past 3 pillars to the sleeping before 30 is surpassed. Okay, before 30 is surpassed indeed. So, I believe how this works is we just have to get to a place... Oh, did we already get the first one? Oh, well, that works. Okay, 1 and 1. I don't know what the odds of that is, but I believe the goal is we need to find 3 of these pillars before 30 rooms. And finding one like that is insanely rare, I'm pretty sure. I don't think that's just something that can happen. So, that's pretty cool. I'll take that. 1 for 1 is actually insane. But all we have to do is just keep going through these rooms here, and hopefully find what we're looking for. Because the thing is depends on how many rooms it takes to truly find what we're looking for. And honestly, 30 may not even be enough, who even knows. But it is definitely something we do need to do. Because, like I said, I want to complete everything we can, and, the best thing to do is, completing everything that I promised I would do. So, honestly, the only thing is, should I probably won't say what we're going for. We'll find it eventually. But 2 of 6? Not bad. Okay, cool. So now we have 24 rooms of just a plush to make it so we don't have to worry about finding another one of those pillars, which is really, really good. I like the thought of that because now we don't have to worry, which is really nice. Just because you definitely could worry when it comes to some things like this. I think going in one direction might be our best option here, though. Just because I think technically we should have the same odds just because of, in general. It's like, if, say, like, you take a test and you say the same answers, obviously, you would get the same, more than likely you're gonna get, well, let's say it's one of 3 choices. Usually you're gonna get 33% of the test right. So, might as well just go with the same odds that we have, right? To go with. Because I don't know, I think there is a pattern that you can solve here. I don't think it's gonna be that easy to do without, like, obviously having a cheat sheet of what the odds are, and I don't want to have to do that for you guys, since I don't think it would be too fun for me to try and memorize all the rocks here for you guys. I don't think anyone really would be able to understand it unless they had, like, a full picture of the marking and everything. If there even is odds. I could be completely wrong. There could be no odds completely when it comes to the shaping the rooms and stuff. Oh, and there we go. We found our 3rd pillar. So, let's look at our last one. 3 of 18. And honestly, we got that quite quick, actually, I think. And there it is. Giratina, the final major legendary of Sinnoh, if you compare it to Dialga, Palkia, and then you have Giratina. And Giratina is known by 2 different names. The god of antimatter, or the god of the afterlife. Which I feel the afterlife is more fitting for it because, well, Arceus is the god of creation. So I think the afterlife actually fits Giratina more. So, with that being said, honestly, all we gotta do is now just try and catch the thing, right? But here we go. Bishan. Bishan indeed. But here we go, Giratina. Honestly, kinda sad that Giratina wasn't a part of the main story for Diamond and Pearl's remakes. I wish it was, because honestly, that really wraps up Team Galactic's story a little bit better, in my opinion. I still say, I will still stand to that. But it still works pretty well. Okay, he's going for some nonsense with that, so we won't be able to attack him for a couple turns if he's going to be doing stuff like that. Shadow Force is its special ability, if I remember correctly, so we do need to be careful. Although there is moves like Shadow Force now, so for normal Pokemon, but it's still something we do need to be careful about. Giratina is more defensively tanky, so we should be perfectly fine when it comes to slowly whittling him down to the amount of health that we need him to be. Because as long as we don't hit him too hard, we should be fine. The only problem is how much is he gonna let us do to him before he starts going crazy with some of his attacks, because I think he has a lot of strong attacks that, like the shadow rush that he likes to do. And oh, there it is. Okay, Aura Sphere. Okay, that proves my point there. Okay, so maybe probably a good idea that that was also a crit too. Okay, so it doesn't really matter there. That was just a crit version. But still, Aura Sphere against Steel types are definitely not the... Doesn't that hurt you? Yeah, thanks. Okay, thanks for the free HP, I guess. I don't know why you did that, but we'll definitely drop you down into the nice red zone. Although I did have to crit you to do that. But if you do Pain Split again, you won't be able to get away with it, which is pretty good for us. I also forgot about our Quick Ball, but I guess that doesn't really matter. But let's start throwing out Dusk Ball. Since he is in a cave, we do get the odds of a Dusk Ball. So, honestly, it's better than just throwing Ultra Balls here, since it's just smarter. But down goes the Aura Sphere. Now we just kind of take some free damage. Thankfully, it didn't knock us out right away, so we're building up turns for Timer Ball, since Timer Ball is definitely going to be our best friend when it comes to catching this guy, I think, just to be completely honest. But definitely, with the Shadow Forces and everything, we do need to be careful. The only thing is with Pain Splits, that kind of puts a dampen on everything with my kind of idea of what I want to do here, since Clayton is built to, well, be able to catch Pokemon at the current moments. Since, honestly, I needed a way of catching Pokemon, so obviously I needed to build something. So I ended up throwing Block on him, as well as Yawn. And honestly, Block is pretty good for Pokemon like Mesprit, so it's definitely good that I had that just in general. but I feel like I still have a use for it for later in our episode today, just in general for our journey for today. I feel like we're going to have another Pokemon like Mesprit. The only thing is, having two of them in one episode is kind of odd, since how to do, like, runaway Pokemon is kind of a tactic that takes a little bit of time, and I'll be honest, I think you guys only want to watch one of those, to be honest. But I think we can go for Yawn here. Or Sphere. Okay, thankfully he didn't go with Pain Split. I don't know if it would work, but I do know Yawn should work here. Yep, there it goes, cool. It doesn't matter if it's normal and a ghost type, but thankfully, I'm surprised it doesn't matter. It should count as a question mark typing, to be honest, because you don't really think about it. But Yawn should allow us to get something really good here. And what I'm trying to say is, because of how Yawn works, Yawn is actually a better way of catching Pokemon, status-wise. But he's starting to... Doesn't it lose his turn because he's going to sleep? How does that work? I just thought of that. Let's see. Because he's asleep right now. Yeah, he's asleep inside the Shadow Realm. Well, that's, Can I throw... No, I can't. Now that's an odd interaction. What do I do here? Because what if he gets, like... I don't want to knock him out on accident. Well, that's odd. I guess I'll just use my X-Speeds here. I don't use these anyways, so... I guess we can waste them. But... Okay, then. Oh, there he goes. Okay, at least he came out of the Shadow Realm. I was a little worried there. But at least he's asleep in the real world, which is good. Okay, now to throw our Timer Ball. Since now he's asleep, now he should have the best odds for the Timer Ball, although I'm not sure for on Timer Ball timing yet. I'm kind of throwing these early, aren't I? I have a feeling I am, but I think we're about at that time anyways, to be honest. So, I think it's probably good to just keep throwing them just in case. But the thing is we should have the best odds possible at the current moment. And it went to 2, so I think we are definitely in those odds. But as long as we keep him asleep, we don't let him get any kind of healing from Pain Splits, we should be perfectly fine on catching Giratina here with no real problems. The only problem is if he wakes up, and that's definitely a problem. But 3? Oh, 3 is still pretty good. We're getting closer. And he woke up. Okay, well, here we go. Dragon Claw. Thankfully, we took a big hit there, but we survived perfectly fine. So we're definitely in a good situation still. Okay, obviously we're going to go for another Yawn, since Yawn is definitely a good way of... Really? You can't use that ability. You've already tried it, but okay. No real reason for him to try that, but okay. Oh, I'll get some free HP back, since honestly we get like 20 per leftovers, so you using that doesn't really help you at all. But here you go, here's another Yawn for you, and then we'll start throwing Timer Balls again. Because I don't think we need to heal Snorlax/Clayton here. I think he'll be perfectly fine to just tank, for the most part, because the Shadow... Just in general, with Shadow Force, he's going to be just giving us free times to heal. So I don't think we need to worry too much here. And yeah, he did it again. So I only think he has 5 of those, though, because that's his, you know, your when it comes to staple moves with legendaries and starters, usually you only have 5. I could be wrong, he could have 10, but it's still something we should be prepared for. But I'm just going to use another X defense, no reason to waste anything else, since I don't want to worry about throwing something and then, you know, it's going to be something I actually could use. Technically, you can use these for just in general, instead of throwing on status abilities, you can throw on X speeds and stuff like that. But the thing is I feel like it's better for us to be smarter with it, and there we go. We got ourselves a Giratina in 18 turns, and well, when it comes to the actual turn-back cave. And then, honestly, a pretty decent catch there. No knockouts on any of our Pokemon, and honestly, pretty safe on for the most part. So, cool, I'll take it. Level 68 for Marianne, and 70 for Weston. And any level we get now is definitely important. And also Blizzard again, because obviously, like I said in the last one, we had to reload our save in order to get all the Reggies, so I didn't do the same levels, but honestly, there we go. Giratina's data will now be added to your Pokedex. Giratina, the Renegade Pokemon. Type, Ghost and Dragon. Almost 15 feet tall. Weight, 1,653.5 pounds. In its altered form, a Pokemon that is said to live in a world on the reverse side of ours. It appears in an ancient cemetery. And with that being said, let's send him off to the box for the time being. And we are now officially done with Turnback Cave. This is that where life sparkles, that where life has faded, a place where two worlds overlap. And that's pretty true if we take into account with Palkia and Dialga. But technically, we now have the data for all three of the major Sinnoh starters, or not starters, but legendaries. Because if we look at our main Pokedex now, actually, wait, really? I thought Giratina was on the main Pokedex. That's kind of odd, because technically you would think 151 for Giratina. But the thing is like I said, I would read out Mesprit's data as well. Mesprit, the emotion Pokemon, type Psychic, 1 foot, 0.7 pounds. It is known as the being of emotion. It taught humans the nobility of sorrow, pain, and joy. And if you notice, I noticed this earlier, is all of the, the Lake Spirits / Lake Guardians all have the same height and weight, which is kind of interesting, as well as typing, which is kind of cool. I think they all have different stat lines, though, so certain ones are better at certain things. But it's still pretty cool nonetheless. But the thing is now we need to head out to our next location, since now we're done with Turnback Cave and Giratina for the time being. But the thing is our next destination is over in Kanalave City, since we have to actually make our way over here for a good reason. Since this one takes a little bit more setup than Giratina ever will, because Giratina, you just find Turnback Cave and you're perfectly ready to do everything. But the thing is let's definitely throw our Pokemon into healing, just get any kind of moves we lost, / just in general, just any HP we did lose, out of the way, just in case, so we don't have to waste any items. But now let's make our way over to, I believe, the house right next to the boats, is I think where we need to go. So let's make our way on in here, and let's check it on out. Hello. This little boy is thrashing about in his sleep. He appears to be in torment. He is muttering something. Dark is watching me. Yep, Dark is indeed watching you, buddy. I never thought our boy would fall into this endless nightmare. It happened in the past in Kanalave. There were people who never woke up from their nightmares. And if you're wondering specifically, this one is actually specifically for Darkrai. Ooh, there's the Team Galactic, of course. Every single time. I don't think you can look at that one. But, not Team Galactic, but this is specifically for a Pokemon called Darkrai. The thing is Darkrai is a mystery gift Pokemon. But that's not what we're actually going for. Because I think Darkrai and the Pokemon we're going for are completely entwined in the same story. Because it's technically a two-part story, I guess you could say. But I think we should be fine here. I've lost my love of sailing since my son fell into that horrid nightmare. I need the lunar feather from Full Moon Island to awaken him. Would you go to Full Moon Island for me? If not for me, then for my son. Sure, of course. Only you can awaken my son from his awful nightmare. We're both counting on you. Please, I need the lunar feather from Full Moon Island to awaken him. Aye aye, anchors away. Okay, here we go. Off to Full Moon Island for our next legendary Pokemon. Since, let's be honest here, this one is definitely going to be a little bit harder to catch than Giratina will be. Because there's a little bit more setup with this one, I believe. Kind of like with the Mesprit, like I was saying, there's setup for certain Pokemon that don't just sit in one place, but I don't think this Pokemon is one of those that sits in one place, just to be completely honest. But here it is. The celestial being known as Cresselia. The Pokemon flew off somewhere. There is something sparkling where the Pokemon once was. Oh, it dropped something. Hello. You found a lunar feather. Ooh, cool. That's good for us. You put the lunar feather in your bag's key item pockets. And there we go. Now we have our lunar feather. So we should probably take that back to the sailor, just in case. I wonder if it's faster to just fly back to Kamalabe, because he'd follow us, I would think. That Pokemon you met was the lunar Pokemon. I've heard tales of it flying from place to place throughout Sinnoh. Oh, that's Sparkle, and also Clayton's having a fun time. Oh, that's Sparkle. That must be the lunar feather. Thank you. That will wake my son from the nightmare. Well, hopefully it does. But, based on the fact that everything with, the mystery gift item for, just in general, the special event for Darkrai, I don't know if it really will, but it's worth trying. The little boy is thrashing about in sleep. Your lunar feather began to glow. The boy's sleeping face became untroubled and serene. Oh, the little boy woke up. Oh, hello. Well, that worked. Huh. Oh my gosh, you're awake. Oh my son, I don't know what to say. Thank you, we'll never forget you. Seeing you back to normal makes me feel great. I regained my spirit as a sailor. Come sail with me later. Huh? Wait a minute. Wait, that worked. Wait a minute. 1 second. I thought... Huh. Let's check him out. I'm going to be a sailor like my dad. He's a real man among men. Even the sea doesn't scare him. Oh, but a gym leader'd be cool too. Byron is so awesome. And let's just check out the mother as well. Our boy has too much energy. I wish he'd be a little quieter. If he was a little quieter, he'd still be sleeping. Let's check on our bud here. Do you want to set sail? Okay, so we can't go to the other place. Okay, I got confused for a second, because that is definitely connected to Darkrai, but I believe it's a ticket item, if I'm remembering correctly. So we would get like a special ticket to go to an island that takes us to Darkrai, basically. But the thing is because obviously we don't have that ticket, because it's no longer available, there's no way we can do that. But we can definitely still do stuff with Cresselia, though. But cool, we got to actually, like, see the rest of that story, because, like I said, it was technically a 2-part story. But I thought we had to see Darkrai for it. But apparently I was wrong, which I'm surprised about. But now next thing is because now we know for sure it's roaming. Let's look at our marking map. It should be 7, I think? Nope. 8, 9, there it is, okay. So as we can see Cresselia on the map. Obviously it doesn't look like Cresselia, but we didn't have one of those on the map before. But now we know that it's over there. The thing is it's gonna move every time we move. So basically if we leave and come back, it's gonna come into view. And this is why I said that I didn't want to do Mesprits in case there was 2 of them, because it would be easier to deal with it. Okay, so it's basically on top of us. But the thing is Snorlax is kind of in our way as well, so Clayton, I might tell you to go away for a bit, which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually force him to go back into his Pokeball, because he's kind of body blocking me a little bit here for what I'm trying to do. But basically, we walk back and forth between these routes, is usually the way of doing stuff like this. It's just the thing is how long it takes for it to decide to come over here is really anybody's game. But eventually it'll decide to do so. Okay, now it's really close to us. It's running away again. I feel like, I don't know if it's the bike that's doing it, but I feel like as long as we do like something like this, it'll definitely decide to come over here. Because the thing is once it's like next to you, it seems like Pokemon like this stay like basically next to your town. But there we go, okay, he's back in the area again. It's just kind of, whenever he decides to kind of come over here, is really the idea of this. I wish he wouldn't fly over to the harder areas to get to, because the thing is you can't really chase him. It's kind of whenever it decides to come to you, which is easier said than done for sure. I just hope it doesn't take too long for you guys, because the thing is it is kind of random his path for moving between places. I think it's easier between two routes, I think, to be honest, but I feel like this is also pretty decent, just because we can easily walk in between both of them. Okay, so far it seems like he really doesn't like this area, which is kind of odd. He did go over to this right area, but I don't think that would help us either, and I did not need to go in the Pokemart. Oops. Let's make our way back on out. Okay, so what's a better way of making him forcefully come out of where he's standing at? It's definitely a good question. Or maybe we could just move to this route too, because technically we can work with this too, because he did come over here. The only thing is like I said, if he comes over here, he comes over here. But this is the best way to kind of explain how this phenomenon works with running Pokemon like Entei, Suicune, and just in general Raikou. Definitely. Actually, no, it was more Entei and Raikou, right? Because Suicune actually stayed in one spot in some games. But, okay, it looks like we're kind of getting him to come over here. But the only thing is like I said, it's going to be kind of a trial and error thing until he decides to be on the same route. Oh, are we on the same route? I'm not really sure. I think we are. Let's try going into a Pokemon fight and see if it works. Nope, that's a Bidoof. I was about to say, I thought we got him for a second. But no, that's definitely not the Pokemon we're looking for. But definitely, it seems like he might be past the cave. And if he is, that is unfortunate. Because that's not where we need him to be. Yeah, it looks like he's one area past us. And now he's in the area we're wanting him to be in, which is unfortunate. Okay, let's just go between these routes. Okay, it looks like he's staying in this general area now. Oh, and there we go. Okay, now he's in our area. Okay, there we go. Finally. Now we just gotta find him. And I'm pretty sure it should be easy to tell once we do find him. I think using a repel here would be a good idea. But the thing is I don't think it works because we don't have low-level Pokemon. I think if we did, it'd be much easier. And also, now that I notice that Weston is on the front, we're actually gonna... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's gonna... Okay, yeah, using a repel is smart, for sure. But the thing is that... that definitely doesn't work for us as well, because of our Pokemon levels. Because I don't know what level Cresselia is, but Weston is definitely the Pokemon we need for this. But we need to push him into this area, which is kind of our only real way of doing this. Again. So hopefully we can easily, slowly, but surely push him back in. But because we did find... Like, I did show how this works. Obviously, I might do a small cut here just to get him back over here. Because the thing is it might take him a couple more minutes to decide to come back here. And hopefully, it's not as hard as it looks. But it's definitely not as hard as it looks. It's just that it takes time. So, for you guys, I'm going to do a small cut just so we're in a better situation with trying to find Cresselia. Because, one, I didn't think about Weston being in the front there, because I actually thought Clayton was in the front, because obviously I turned off his Pokeball, so I thought, oh, we already moved him and everything, because we're going to need him for this. But definitely, with that being said, I'll be right back, and I'll see you guys very, very shortly. So, here be, boys and girls. Okay, so I was finally able to get Cresselia to finally decide to go into the route, and I actually found out our repels don't work because of the level of our Pokemon, so yeah, technically a little unfortunate, but Cresselia is level 50, so this shouldn't be too hard to actually, do what we need to do. But the first things first is, anytime you run into a runaway Pokemon, because this Pokemon's gonna run away as soon as we even start doing anything, so honestly, you want to make sure that it can't leave the fight. So first things first is obviously use a move like Block. The user blocks the target's way with his arms, spread wide to prevent escape. So with that being said, usually like Abra or any other Pokemon, just to make sure it can't leave. So now Cresselia can't leave the fights. Abilities are also another way of doing that, but that's definitely a really decent way of making sure that your legendary Pokemon doesn't run away from you and make you have to try and find it again. But yeah, since it's level 50, it makes a lot of sense that we couldn't find Cresselia with a Repel, which is really unfortunate for, just trying to find it wise. But other than that, pretty decent. But Moonlight, is that the healing one? Or, yep it is, okay. Normally, that would not be a problem, but because of the fact that it's I need to lower your HP, please don't use Moonlight, because I'd like you not to heal, because I'm not trying to knock you out, so please be a little bit nicer about that. And also, okay, so it's going for Slash, okay. Seems like it's more physical, using more physical moves than anything else, which is good. Definitely a good thing. But now that we kind of got it low, it might go for Moonlight now. It would make a lot of sense for it to do so. But I'm going to go Yawn, just make sure it's nice and low on just in general with status effects and stuff. And it'll take a turn for that to go through. But the thing is once it is asleep, it shouldn't be able to heal anymore. And that's when we can go in for the ability to actually catch her. Because the thing is Cresselia definitely is an interesting Pokemon sometimes for how this can work. Because the thing is it's either going to go for a heal or it's going to try and make sure something else might happen. But I don't think we have to worry too badly here. As long as we slowly but surely do a little bit of damage, lower its HP a little bit, try and get it into like it is sleeping right now. Also, I like how all the Pokemon close their eyes when they fall asleep, including legendaries. I think that's pretty cool. It feels more in tune with the game, and it feels more polished when things like that happen. But here we go with the Timer Ball, and now we just gotta try and catch her. And it's easier said than done, but I think we just got her, just like that. First Timer Ball we threw, as well as the sleeping status. And down goes Cresselia in the easiest way possible. Cresselia's data will now be added to your Pokedex. Cresselia, the lunar Pokemon, type Psychic, 4 foot 11 inches, basically 5 foot tall. Weight 188.7 pounds. When it flies, it releases shiny particles from its veil-like wings. It is said to represent the crescent moon. But there we go, now we have Cresselia. And honestly, with that being said, we're definitely a lot closer to, technically catching all the legendaries of Sinnoh, which is pretty cool, because then we have Regigigas, Giratina, Cresselia. There's a Pokemon in between Palkia and Dialga. Oh, that's Heatran, obviously. Okay. I'm definitely not catching Heatran because I found out that's a marker for making the Elite Four even stronger before our rematch, and would require us to get to level 90, which is pretty scary, but obviously I only want to do the original rematches and everything, because the only thing is I think it just increases the level, so I think it's probably better to just do the original rematch at the normal level, which is honestly better with me, because there's no real reason to catch Heatran, really, because we've technically already did that with one of our fan games. I think it was I think it was Uranium, if I'm remembering correctly. That feels right to me, because I'm pretty sure we had to catch Heatran during that story. I don't know why I'm remembering it like that, but we have caught legendaries in other games, so I feel like it's probably fair enough that we've already caught Heatran. But the thing is, there's actually one more thing we can do. But before we go there, let's heal up, make sure everyone's ready. Because the thing is we're actually going in for a fight. Because apparently, there is something connected to Platinum in this game, which I am quite happy about. Because the thing is there's no reason to get rid of it, right? So, first things first, we're definitely going to make sure that Clayton is kind of back to normal. Because the thing is he kind of is missing a couple of his normal moves. Obviously, I need to throw on Strength again, but I don't think we shouldn't be able to even use that for the fight anyways. But the thing is I should at least get rid of block for the time being, because I don't think we'll need that anymore for the most part. But the thing is I actually don't think we have anything to swap out with that move, to be honest here. So maybe that's not much of a problem. You know what? I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be good here, I think. But the thing is for the most parts, yeah, I think we'll be fine. You know what? Yeah, so let's just get over to Ramanas Park first, before we worry about anything. Because the thing is once we get to Ramanas, you guys will know exactly what's going on here. Because the thing is that's where we're going. So, apparently, the trigger for this is actually catching Giratina. So, now we just gotta find wherever this thing is. And it should be... here it is. Okay, Distortion Slate. A slate overflowing with enigmatic energy. You feel a strong connection between it and the Distortion Room at Ramanas Park. So, we do have one Mysterious Shard left. Good thing we got 4 of them. And now we have ourselves a good old Distortion Slate. So, with that being said, let's go find this Distortion Room. I didn't see anything called a Distortion Room before, but I guess we'll look for it now, because I could have sworn I looked at all the rooms in between episodes. So, I actually have no clue where that one could be. Oh, maybe this is it. Hello, cave? Oh, yep, this is definitely it. Okay then, Distortion Room. So a whole new cave opened up in Ramanas Park. And this is called the Distortion Realm, which is something you would see inside Pokemon Platinum. But, with that being said, now we need to prepare for it. So, first things first, I think our best option here is honestly, I guess just dive right in, I guess. So, I guess we'll just do it. There's an enigmatic pedestal you may be able to use a slate on it. Also, that's a hard word to say. Enigmatic. I don't know why I can't say that. The way I talk, I guess it just makes it hard to say words like that, but jeez, that's actually kind of hard. But would you like to use a Distortion Slate? Yes, I would. Okay, so let's throw that in and see how this works. And it looks like oh yeah, it does look like a DS cartridge. I thought the other ones looked like Game Boy Advance cartridges, so this one does look like a DS cartridge. So technically it would be Pokemon Platinum. We'd be sliding into the slate here. But the Distortion Slate fit perfectly. The pedestal started shining. Okay, here we go. So whatever is connected to this, and there it is. And here we are. We're now officially inside the Distortion world. And there is the Distortion Pokemon, also known as the origin form of Giratina, which you would normally see inside Pokemon Platinum. So, here we go. And honestly, let's be honest here, this is probably not going to be easy, but here we go. Kiwa go 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 whoa whoa. Okay, but here we go with Giratina. I don't think we can catch this thing, so no point in even trying to catch it. But here we go, Giratina. Technically a secondary fight with Giratina today, but I think this one's definitely going to be more of a boss battle than anything. But there we go, a level 100 Giratina. Definitely going to need to be careful. So, I'm going to go straight into a yawn. Okay, he's Destiny Bonding me. That doesn't really affect us, to be honest. If we go down, it doesn't really matter for you, but if we were to, you know, take you down, we would go down anyways. So, kind of interesting. Okay then. Well, let's go for Bulldozes. He's going Destiny Bond. Oh, I forgot. Giratina has Levitate. But we did go put it into sleep status. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. That's odd. Its eye didn't close like every other Pokemon. Huh. That's weird. Well, since it is asleep, let's go straight into Marianne here. Because we're going to go a little bit offensively here. Because this is where our free chance of not doing some kind of damage to it. Because it should be asleep for at least 3 turns. Is what I'm going to say. May break out early. But maybe we can get lucky here, right? Because Hex and Sleep is definitely pretty good combo. or is a pretty good combo. So we should be able to do some decent damage here, as long as we're safe. The thing is I don't know if it's going to have the same moveset as the Giratina that we caught, so it might have Destiny, or not Destiny Bond, Pain Split as well. I'm not too sure, but we are doing some decent damage here. It woke up, it's going for Aura Sphere. We dodge it because we don't take Aura Sphere damage, because we don't take damage from fighting type moves. But down you go into basically no HP. Okay. Should I just go for it, or should I not? He's faster than me, so maybe we can... He's going Earth Power. That's definitely going to one-shot us. Yeah, thought so. Didn't think that would work for us, but it's definitely good that we at least tried. But we did drop it into red HP really, really early before one Pokemon went down. But, let's definitely go for another Yawn. He's going Earth Power. I was kind of hoping to put it to sleep. Or not sleep, but make it burned, so it can't do any physical damage, because it seems like it's using a lot of physical moves. Or no, Earth Power is... Oh no, isn't? Yeah, that's special attack, isn't it? But now that it's in Yawn, we should be perfectly safe. So let's start going more Rock Slides in. He's going Destiny Bond again. That does not matter whatsoever. And also... Is that the original battle music, or am I just noticing that now? I usually turn down the music in my ears so I can't really hear it. But it sounds like the original music from Platinum, which is pretty cool. Because that doesn't sound like any music I've heard previously. So that's actually pretty cool. I like the little guitar riffs and everything. But we should actually have this Giratina down for the count, honestly. Because, yep, there he goes. No more HP. And down goes Giratina. And we won, just like so. And we got 2 levels out of it. Cool. Clayton's now level 67, and Alice is now level 75. Good to see. Definitely good to see. But down goes Giratina, and his origin form. As well as the Distortion Room is now officially, I believe, completed. And, ooh, that's a cool statue. What's with the... That's weird. There's like a do not, or you cannot do something symbol on them. And also we're upside down now. That's weird. But cool though. I like that. Can we go closer to the statue? Just curious. I don't think we can do anything with it, but it's still pretty cool. Let's make our way on out of the Distortion Room. If I can... Okay, now I'm kind of stuck. Okay. Wait a minute. Were we not supposed to go back? Okay, I was about to say, okay. That was weird. Oh, hello. A Greasius Orb. Oh yeah, that's the item that changes Giratina's form, so that's how you unlock it. I thought it was weird that it wasn't in the room with Giratina in Turnback Cave, and it looks like the Distortion Room's always going to be upside down now. Huh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, down goes Giratina. And I'm curious, did we get the statue for him like the other Pokemon that we did? Because we did the Reggies. So would Giratina also give us a statue? Because that would make sense. Oh, he didn't talk to me. So I'm guessing that's a no. That's weird. Why would you not get a statue for Giratina? Huh. Okay then. That's kind of odd. But because we did fight with that, we should be able to change its form, right? Yeah, here we go. Origin form. And actually it's the same for the actual... I thought it would have a different Pokedex entry. But there we go. There's the origin form for Giratina. Honestly, a pretty cool Pokemon. I believe it swaps its defenses for its attacks. So it'll gain like 100 attack and 100 special attack, but minus defense by 100 and minus defense by, or special defense by 100 as well. And I think its speed goes up as well. But honestly, a pretty cool Pokemon. And with that being said, we are now officially done with our final hurdle before doing our rematches. So in the next episode, we will be beginning the beginning of the end. Because like I said before, once we start doing the rematches, that's when you know that our adventure is definitely slowly but surely coming to an end. I don't know if it's going to take 3 episodes to do it, or if it's going to take 2. I'm going to say more 3, because that makes a little bit more sense to me. Because obviously 4 gym leaders, and then, you know, the 5 Elite Four, that kind of sounds about right to me, because they're all going to be about the same level anyways, so it sounds about right to me, but I could be completely wrong. but that is how I think it might go. But with that being said, thank you all for watching, have a wonderful rest of your day, keep being spooky, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.